to Chris Akabusi and Don Neeson as they go through the papers and other things that will influence what you see in your news today. And we're going to start. Those of you with a nervous disposition, we should say, look away. Last week on the programme, I showed my friend Rylan a snake that had invaded his swimming pool area. It was like a snail.
Grass snake, wasn't it?
Well, what is this? What is this, Isabel? Explain to us what this is.
Well, this is
big.
A 6 foot or even a 5 foot python. And believe it or not, this was found cozying up on somebody's boiler in London.
In London?
No.
In London.
Yeah, tell us more, Chris.
Well, yeah, I know. So this lovely lady goes to the boiler and finds this snake, a very worse for wear snake. It was thin, she said, wrapped around the boiler. What amazed me is that rather than running away, she tickled it to see if it was alive.
She tickled it,
yeah.
What with?
Well, Doddy's, what's his name? I forgot that guy, that comedian. His tickle snake.
Tickle stick.
Yeah, tickle stick. But, yeah, and then, now, I want to know where they got this from. They got a snake bag. I mean, who's got a snake bag?
Well, I think they called the RSPCA.
Oh, OK. Because also, before I know, there's a snake bag turns up and put it in there. And the snake was really happy. It moved a little bit, went into the snake bag, cuddled up, and now it's been well looked after. But the idea that you're in London, I've heard of things coming through the cisterns up into the house that way. But, yeah,
so this would have slithered through the garden or whatever and into the garage or whatever.
In the interest of balance, because that's what we're about, I would just like to say my cousin had Indian python. I don't know if that's an Indian python. It looks like an Indian python, roughly the same size, in a block of council flats in East London, and that escaped as well. It was lovely. No. It was a really lovely snake.
Do you know how it escaped? Did it go down the loo or?
He doesn't know. It was in its cage 1 minute and the next it was gone. And it was found again because they go for the warmth because obviously they're cold-blooded, so it went for the warmth, and it was found in the ventilation system. But the entire block of flats was terrified for ages. But it was an absolutely lovely snake. I used to really enjoy playing with them. They're very relaxing. Snakes are lovely creatures.
I don't understand why we have these. I consider it an exotic animal. I read at the weekend that there are more tigers in the state of Texas than there are in the wild.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you'd have as a pet an animal that in the wild is a danger. And then we wouldn't have all of these issues of snakes. I mean, it's bad enough people having rats. I'm sorry I'm offending people. But, you know, if a rat escapes... Oh, mind you, they say in London you're never more than a metre from a rat, don't they?
Some places
Present
are even closer.
Naughty.
But it's just not for me. So if you are a big snake fan and you wouldn't mind seeing a giant snake on your boiler, let me know. It was a nanny as well that found this. Can you imagine? Children and
first world problems.
Are they poisonous? Do they bite or do they just swallow?
Don't they constrict, don't they?
Yeah, they squeeze the life out of you.
Yeah, they don't bite. They do have fangs, but they're not poisonous, but they will squeeze you.
So where would you go to buy one?
There are reputable dealers who, who will sell various exotic pets, not tigers, but will sell you things like spiders and snakes and things.
No, I always love autumn. I think autumn's my favourite time of the year, and my happy memories are always going up to Belfast Castle and collecting conkers with my dad and brothers. Front page of the Star says there may be a problem this year. Yeah,
nuts are in trouble, love, basically. How nuts have been conquered is the headline in the Star. And basically the weather this year, with the combination of freezes and heat waves and washouts, have left chestnuts too squidgy to have conker fights with. So...
But we used to put them in the oven.
Vinegar. Put them in vinegar, put them in the oven.
But this Sunday coming up, if you're interested, in Southwark, in Northamptonshire, is the Conker Championship, basically. And organisers are saying for the first time that it is going to be acceptable for those taking part to put their nuts in the oven and give them a roasting so they're hard enough to play with, otherwise they're just going to squish. But on the upside, it's a good year for pumpkins. And Halloween's coming up soon. My favourite time of the year, obviously. So your pumpkins are good, but your nuts are not.
But, you know, it's this weather, isn't it? Crazy weather these days. I haven't actually seen any conkers yet. And when I was... Have you seen lots? Yeah. I just haven't been looking in the right places. Because when I was born, my birthday was on Friday, 29th of September, my dad walked to the hospital to pick us up and picked up 2 conkers, one for my brother, one for me, and we planted them at our childhood home and then watched the trees grow. But I always thought that was a lovely thing, but I always associate conkers with my birthday. But I haven't seen any.
Belated happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
No.
When you moved home, when your parents moved home, did they dig up those trees?
No, they're still there.
That's OK, it's a reminder.
One called Izzy.
No, I actually
and one's
never knew
called...
which one was which. But yeah, that's when we left our cat buried in the garden and all sorts. It's just...
The gorgeous tree was obviously called...
Yeah.
Do you want to win over your boss?
Always.
Because if you want to win over your boss, the Times suggests the best way to do is to praise your colleagues. When you're talking about things that you are accomplishing, it is not about me. It's about, yes, my sort of financial whiz was only possible because of the ability the team had to get us together and go out and to do things. So
what if you don't believe that? No, I'm being serious.
Quickly.
No, absolutely. There's loads of times I don't believe it's anything to do with my colleagues. And
well, no, it's impossible. No. There's no man's an island. I mean, it's as good as you are.
No, I don't agree. They're leaders and they're followers, and you know, they're people who lead and they're people who are sheep, and there are various aspects to this. This is today's woke society that you're supposed to say, "Oh, hello, Cyril, you're fantastic," even though you're useless and you can't speak, read, or write, or whatever it is. You're a fantastic addition to this team. Well, if you don't believe it, how can you say it?
Stop me if you don't want me to finish the story. My favourite story, but one of my favourite, many stories about Eamonn is that the place we both used to work, we used to have these annual reviews, and one year our boss said to Eamonn, you know, what do you think you could do better next year? And Eamonn said, nothing.
Well, you see, these are stupid. These assessments, right, which companies bring you in and say,
no, it's
well, we're here
to...
Yes, so as soon as you say, well, I'm not very good at timekeeping, rubbish at timekeeping, you know, I could read the newspapers more, right? So you give this whole list of negative things as an excuse for them not to give you a pay rise or whatever. So they said to me, what could you do better? I said, nothing.
Nothing.
If you don't back yourself, no one else is
No one else will. What a lot of rubbish.
But as an athlete, I'm the one that runs around the track, right?
Yeah.
But there's no way you can get down there if your physio is not on point, if your coach is not on point.
Yeah, but you can't win the race unless you win the race.
100%. So it's not denying the talent that you've got, but it's actually understanding and presenting...
But no, my point is, what if there's somebody rubbish on your team? Do you not call them out?
No, well, in athletics, they don't make it, do they? They're gone.
Well, who goes them? Who gets rid of them? What I'm trying to say, but you're going to blow wind up everybody and say, oh, they're fantastic, even when they're not.
I wouldn't. No. If my physio wasn't good enough, Matt Grid get rid. I wouldn't be seeing him.
So you're two-faced
then.
To
be fair, though, I will say, Eamonn...
You just sack them.
Eamonn will always say, you do always say...
And people are good.
In the team.
That's right, and I wouldn't say it to...
Don't make out like you're
so
not
if I tell you you're good, you're good.
I'd just like to say that I love working with all of you.
Promotion for Dawn.
See, but that would give me the creeps. I hate being patronised.
Apart from him, obviously. I was lying.
No, but it's like this business of a lot of these politicians, and the latest one I'm targeting is Sunak, you know, that he's saying, what I want to do, there are spades in the ground. If he says spades in the ground, I put a spade in his head next time. and then it's all this business of rolling up his sleeves. It's so patronising and rubbish, and people fall for it.
Maybe he rolls up the sleeve to balance the trousers that are always too short.
Could well be.
Let's talk you, Les, shall we, and the dinosaur, because we were teasing it earlier, and it always is good fun. It actually looks like the dinosaur is urinating on the van.
But it is, Isabel. It is, that's the idea.
Listening on the radio, we have a man dressed as a dinosaur lifting his leg on a ULEZ camera van. Yeah. I think they're unimpressed with ULEZ.
Yeah. And what's really good as well is that they drive some sort of like dumper truck in front of the ULEZ camera, and they raise the truck so that the ULEZ camera can't operate because it's a mobile unit. And eventually they chase the mobile unit out of town.
What?
Get out of town! Dinosaur 2, ULEZ 0.
At least this is a fun way of tackling, you know, complaining about ULEZ rather than sort of like criminal damage on the cameras, etc., etc. I mean, you know, what's not to love about someone dressed in a dinosaur suit on a Monday morning?
If I remember rightly, part of the discussions, they say that actually they're not breaking the law.
No, they're not.
But that was so actually, ladies and gentlemen, you can do this. Hire yourself a dumper truck and hire the ULEZ camera.
Yeah. Well, you can't help it when your car or your dumper truck breaks down. And the fact that you've got a dinosaur suit in the boot is neither here nor there. Could be worse, could be a snake.
Parents who shout at their children or call them stupid are leaving their offspring at a greater risk of self-harm, drug use, and ending up in jail.
Yeah, right. OK, this is The Guardian, and it is research for an academic paper called Child Abuse and Neglect. So, wonder what they're going to find. But basically, shouting at your child, calling them stupid, is the same as sexual abuse. And I'm sorry, no, it isn't.
OK. Of course it's not. Dawn, Chris, thank you both very, very much indeed. The time now is 4 minutes to 9, still to come. More from day 2 of the Conservative Party conference as the Prime Minister's under pressure to cut taxes. The Chancellor's got a big speech today, previewing all of that next.